Hello, this is Mark from I Am Organic Gardening, located in Zone 6B in the state of New Jersey, and welcome to the video called What Happens If I Leave This in My Garden? What we have in the background here is purple dead nettle, and in the front here is something that's also very similar to it, and this is called henbit, Henbit. Now the difference you can see here is the difference in flowers and also the color of flowers. The purple dead nettle here has kind of a purplish tone to the leaves, and also is heart shaped. This other one here, let's pick one and I'll show you, has a different type of flower coming out in a different area, and also the leaves are pretty much, let's say, carnation shape on the bottom. It's pretty much round. It doesn't have the similar thing. Both of these are considered herbs, and they do very well for your garden. Do not panic that you have them in your garden, and you don't have to rip them out. If they're in the way, you can just take a shovel, which I'll show shortly, and you can just remove the top of the plants off, but leave the roots in the ground. They're serving a purpose in actually building your soil for your better gardens, because what they're doing right now, since the sun is out, they're collecting solar energy from the sun and feeding the soil. And a lot of people think it's the other way around. It's like, oh, all this is going to take nutrients out of my soil and I'm not going to have anything. No, actually plants, they have realized this, is feeding the soil. That's how plants build soil, and it always has done since nature has provided plants to grow on the planet. Now what's nice about this, and how does it feed the soil? It takes carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, which it's doing now, and pushing it back down into the soil, and then giving us oxygen from the plant. So it cleans our air. Plus it feeds the soil carbon, or a form of carbon, that stores it in the soil, that feeds the microbes, and also what it does, it also builds a soil, allowing more air to go in there because of the root system. All benefits of it. Now, again, when people think of this, and they look at it as being a weed. It's not a weed. It's actually very beneficial for everything. And then the birds and the bees will come after this too. So another bonus about all this in your soil is that now insects will go out early in the springtime and start going around this area too. And then also with this being covered on the soil, the other benefit is worms love it. Worms, since there's roots in the ground, instead of just bare soil in your garden, it makes the soil more aerated. So worms are able to move around a lot more easy in your garden. And now since you have more worms in the soil at this point, now birds come in and then feed off the worms. And that's just the way nature is. But also what the birds are delivering, because if they leave some kind of castings behind, that they do when they feed in the area, that also brings in mycorrhizal fungi from other areas nearby you and helps build your soil. Mycorrhizal fungi is a type of fungi that lives off the plant root in the ground. It will inhabit the roots in the ground and then grow a fungus web underneath the soil, gaining nutrients and sharing information, and it's all positive, because when those birds come, and again leaving their castings behind, that casting will most likely have, because it ate a worm from somewhere else, that worm was going through the soil picking up spores of the mycorrhizal fungi and then delivering it to you in your garden. So it's also a great benefit. So let me show you quickly how to, let's say, plant it into an area that you have covering here. And the last thing I want to show you here is this plant also too. This is called chickweed. Now, a lot of people will say again too, that's a bad thing. It's not. It's actually doing the same purpose. It has a nice flower, and then in the background over here we have our dandelion, which has a long taproot. Now, everybody knows through proceeding with these type of items that I showed you here is that they have, like the dandelion has a long taproot. All of this will pretty much die off within the next month or two, and then your other plants can take over. So don't fear it. Work with it. It's actually free of charge, and it's going to build your soil, meaning the root systems are going to lift the soil up and create a larger area. So this is how we plant into them. We're just going to use a round shovel and just take it and slide it right across the surface here. And you're not going to touch the soil at all. And open it up like so. And now you still have the roots in the ground from the plant, and now you're just going to plant your seeds, put them on top, push them in like so, and that's all you're going to do. And then you can walk away and have a happy garden and a happy life. And if you're going to do something like a transplant, it's okay to remove the soil in that area also too, because all those roots are going to be tilling that soil, and it's nice. Now you can see here that the soil is just benefiting from all that root structure in there. Now if you look closely, minus the rock here, all this is nice and tilled and fluffy because all the root system. And you can smell how beautiful that soil is, and it all is working in harmony with nature. Just beautiful. How amazing it is that the roots will do the tilling for you. And I'll show you an example. Here we have a very large sponge. Now when your soil is compact, the sponge is pretty much compressed. Now when you add the roots in from plants, it expands that soil, it builds that soil, it creates more air gaps in the soil. Just like a sponge, it absorbs more water, retains more water, and it's all beneficial to you and your plants. Now, what's nice about this is that this covering will also reduce weeds later on, because when it starts getting warmer out and they're still alive, the soil will not warm up and create those weed seeds that might be below this plant to grow. So just a quick review, we have purple dead nettle. We can identify that by the little purple tone on top of the leaves here, and also the way it flowers, and the type of flower or color of the flower. And here's a better close-up of that. Now we have something similar to it. This is called henbit. Now you can see the different shaped flowers and also the color on there. Let's get a little closer to that flower so you can see it now. Now we have our chickweed here that also has a little white flower. And let's get a better shot of that for you also too. Now all of these are beneficial to your soil, so it's your choice to leave them there or not. Now when all this dies off, it's going to add organic matter to your soil from the root system dying off naturally, and also it's going to add all that green manure on top that you see here. Just like grass clippings added to your soil, it's going to do the same thing. So do not fear them, work with them. And here's also a little fun fact. Any of these plants, the purple dead nettle or the henbit, if you look closely here, let it clear up, the stem is square. Not round, but square. Again, beautiful how nature just develops things and works with us. I want to thank you so very much for watching today's video. When you get a chance, please like and share the video. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe, and I'll see you shortly with another video. Thanks. Enjoy your day and enjoy gardening.